First question about Brody Peoples. His minutes, I know you've talked a lot this season about the inability to distribute minutes to everyone of how many they want this year, but what do you think Brody would need to do to get more minutes and be out there on the court more?
Pay me more money.
Pardon?
Pay me more money.
Oh, okay, so the NIL deal, does he not have an NIL deal? Let's see if I'll see if I can find the guy, talk about his shirt.
Brody has similar minutes to Darius his freshman year. It's just, this is our system. You got to learn it. You're accountable for it on both ends of the floor. And I think he's going to be a special player. I love having him in our family. And that kid works like none other I've had. So his minutes will come, whether they come in the remainder of the season or more opportunities next year. That remains to be seen.
But you won't tell me what he needs to do in order to get those minutes this year? There's not a specific thing that he can do?
I think just overall improvement. Again, I don't equate your value based on your minutes. Blake Prestons played as few minutes as anyone on our team this year who's deserved them. But because of our necessity to have another ball handler out there, it's eroded his consistent minutes. But it's nothing he has done wrong. It's just what I've decided to do in trying to win the game. And I think Brody's in a similar boat. But yeah, the more complete you are as a player, the more opportunity you're going to have to impact the outcome.
John?
Coach, you talked last night and over the past few weeks about your team dealing with a sense of fatigue just from the schedule and the number of games in such a short window. I'm also wondering if, perhaps also the weight of having 3 straight conference championships weighing on their shoulders, could that also be leading towards a sense of fatigue as you enter the stretch run?
Yeah, John, I heard some of the questions that Keegan and Darius took, and to suggest that our group is our failures, and not that was suggested, but if we don't win the regular season crown, like it's a disappointment. We've lost our last 3 games. We've had the lead or chance to lead in the last minute, and we haven't won at Jacksonville, at North Florida, and home against FGCU. I love our guys. They are battling their tails off. I'm really happy with where we are, although I want to win as much as anyone. But we've created a false narrative. This is Division I basketball. The Golden State Warriors are 42-17. That's 71% winning percentage. We're 11-4. I think that's 73 or whatever percent. We're having a good season. So yes, do I think the taxation of expectation is on them? Absolutely. They have these. They look at them. They want to please the people and the university we represent, but they aren't doing that. These are some of the best kids in the world, and I just think, I think they're doing a good job.
Dane?
Richie, you said this immediately once you returned from UVA, that players who buy into the system, work hard, are good teammates, they will be rewarded at some point in their career with valuable minutes being contributors. Is Keegan McDowell a prime example of that? If you stay with the system, you stay committed to it, you will be rewarded down the stretch?
Yeah, no doubt, Dame. Devin Hall, who we had at Virginia, I think it was his first 3 years, he got minimal minutes. And his senior year, he is one of the best players in the league. And it resulted in being an NBA draft pick. Now, Keegan's not going to get drafted in the NBA, but just that perseverance and the accrual of knowing that when you continue to stack days, when you don't get your value in just what other people say about you, or what the statistics say, and you contribute to the whole as a part of, instead of just the individual part of it, I just think you end up being a greater leader and a huge impact on a team or an organization, and that's Keegan McDowell without a doubt.
John?
You mentioned this recently about seeing Darius play in high school and immediately, becoming a fan. As you were considering offering him and pursuing him, were you at all hesitant, I guess is the right word, because of his size at 5'9"?
No, I don't get dissuaded in the recruiting process about the physical. I just thought he was a special player, and once we vetted his person, that was an easy decision. And I coached Earl Boykins, was an assistant coach on the USA team in Italy. Can't remember the year, 90 maybe. And Earl Boykins was all at 5'6", but he had the heart of a lion. He was so tough. And Darius just has this gear of stick-to-itiveness that not a lot of people have, and obviously we've been the benefactor of his decision to come be a part of our family.
Dane?
Richie, I want to ask you a question about something you brought up last night in the press conference, and that was about how, look at the schedule that you guys have played since coming back from the COVID pause, and there's been not a lot of time for true practices where you can work through whether defensive assignments, shooting, getting back into a rhythm, and it's been game, prep, travel, etc. And do you feel like that has contributed to maybe the fatigue that you haven't had a chance to get these guys to be in a relaxed practice setting and work through some things?
Yeah, I'm not sure I'd describe our practices as relaxing, but we've limited the taxation on their bodies. This is the fewest minutes that our bench has had since I've been here, and there's a multiple variables in that decision. So to have Shiloh, Kyle, Darius, Keegan practice at the rate that we have in the past, I think would be detrimental to us trying to make a strong run at the finish. We're just trying to win the next game. That being said, I think it's a decision that has burdened me a bit because I feel like the details of what we do every day have eroded a little bit, and that's got to get better. If we want to cut some nets, that's got to get better.
Two more, Emily and Mario.
Coach, do you see that Shiloh has kind of lost his confidence offensively? And if so, what do you think could gain some of that confidence back?
Shiloh's in here, so you'll have to ask him if he's lost his confidence. But if you're asking me, I haven't lost confidence in Shiloh. Shiloh, at the time I said this, was having a first-team all-conference year when I compared him to Danny Granger. And since that time, I think I jinxed him because he hasn't shot it as well. But more importantly, I think his defense has been above average instead of elite. And when Shiloh impacts our team the most, it's when his individual defense is elite. And all the rest of the stuff is icing on the cake. Danny got to the league because of his ability to defend. I think Shiloh's future will, because he's really complete, will be long and rewarding, but he's got to continue to invest in the mental side of it as well. And Shiloh will. He's an absolute gem to coach, and he doesn't even pay me to say that.
Shiloh, Matt Warner paid me to ask that question. Last one for me, or for you, Coach. What have these two seniors taught you? I know you instill a lot of life lessons on and off the court to them, but what have these two guys taught you?
We need more time in order to do that, and we practice here in 4 minutes. So I'll just give you a brief summation. Keegan McDowell taught me the ability to be vulnerable and take a risk. when he asked to come back, I had written him off. I had asked him to come back. He said, no, I'm good. I'm going to Wright State. And when he came back and had the courage to say, hey, I made a mistake. The Lord's leading me a different direction. I want to come back. Yeah, that speaks volumes. And his impact on our team has been grand. Darius McGee he's been a joy to watch. I said this, I don't know, maybe a month ago. Not saying I said it and I'm right, but I said, get your tickets because it's really one of the best seasons I've ever seen an individual player have. And for him to experience that with such humility, not many 22-year-olds have that. Not many 50-year-olds have that characteristic. And I love the way he pursues it and how he's been a light to shine in his commitment to other people. Mario?
Coach, this is Mario of the Liberty Champion. Could you just speak on what some of the things Shiloh has just done this season to get to the point where he is this season?
He's rebounded, he's defended, he shot it at a 40% clip going into last night. He's a fabulous teammate. He doesn't say much to his teammates, but when he does, they listen because he's earned their respect. He's a tremendous student, great citizen. He pursues Jesus. He calls me once a month, and that's the short list. Thanks, guys.